This is the segment that we call Ask the Consultant. And joining me now is the Senior Vice President and the Head of the Government Markets for Empower Retirement, Mr. Brent Neese. Brent, as always, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to turn the tables and ask you questions.
It's not fun, I can tell you.
And I want to turn to retirement income. Obviously, as an industry, we have been focused on accumulation for a very long time. And there's 10,000 baby boomers retiring every day in this country, or 10,000 people reaching retirement every day in this country. And the focus needs to now turn to a lifetime sustainable income. Can you talk a little bit about yours and CAMAC's views on retirement income, starting with having retirement income solutions, whether those are guaranteed minimum withdrawal benefits or annuities in plan, some of the trends that you see there, and what guidance you're giving your clients?
Sure. I think that annuitization or annuity-like products are certainly the part of the future in retirement. And our managing director actually testified recently at the Department of Labor Advisory Council to that effect. I mean, we think it's something that every fiduciary should at least consider. To your point earlier, participants, employees like that defined benefit feel. And so that is why annuitization or these guaranteed minimum withdrawal benefits make sense. And derivations of them, or something that looks similar. I mean, there might be not be an insurance product. But it's if people are telling you in surveys, and I can point to LIMRA surveys and other surveys that really say people like that regular fixed benefit that they would have gotten in a defined benefit plan. The challenge is they don't always understand the products in which they, an insurance product or an annuity product, all the provisions, and that can be very daunting. So I think we have to kind of work around that as an industry to kind of educate people about how important these products are. In terms of plan sponsor adoption, I think we've seen a lot of adoption in certain pockets of the marketplace. But we need to do a better job of educating. And that comes from the provider side, it comes from the asset manager side, but it also comes from the consulting side. We spend, as part of our review meetings, we're spending 2-3 hours with a client. So what we've done is actually put more conversation. So we still talk about investments, but they're really foundational. Once you get a really good investment lineup, it's really more about maintenance and talking about different investment asset classes. We spend a lot of time talking about design and what participants are doing and how do you educate. I'm sure you'd be sympathetic to this, Brent, what participants are doing in terms of behavior. Incorporating that into working with the provider to craft a communications and education strategy to bring people into the program to do the right things and to segment and target that employee population. Part of it as well is educating employees about GMWBs and these products. How can they be used? They serve a purpose. Clearly, they've been around for a while and they've had success. They need to be discussed at the plan sponsor level and communicated to at the employee level. So I think that we're going to see more development, especially around custom target date funds or target date funds that involve some level of an insurance product, kind of interwoven. And I'm very excited to see some of the latest products that come down the pike. And we're always taking a look. We have to be and try to be cutting edge on behalf of our clients. We're a co-fiduciary, so we've got to understand all the products that are available. And we're talking with managers, we're talking with providers about what's available in the marketplace. Last thing I'll say is that there are certainly barriers to regular adoption. And I think we've got to get on the same page, government, private sector, about providing a fiduciary standard, safe harbor, if you will, for adoption of these types of products. There's clearly a need for them, and therefore we have to make sure that that the barriers for entry and the barriers for adoption are out of the way. So, I think more to come on that, and hopefully, the Department of Labor clearly has a lot on its plate with the new fiduciary rules and money market rule, or at least part of the money market rules. So I guess we're gonna see what comes down the pike after the election.
Well, you make some great points, and I do think giving people the solutions to take the right actions while they're employed, to stay in those plans, is really, really important, and it's got to evolve. And lifetime sustainable income is achievable, we're real close to making this thing happen.
Yeah,
so.
And I would say that just to close out that CAMAC Retirement, we're problem solvers. So a client presents an issue, not that clients have problems, but they present an issue and we try to raise our game and try to solve it. And that's the way we approach every client. And this is no different. You know, whether it's fees, whether it's annuity-like provisions in a program or a product, anything. I mean, you've got to present solutions to your clients. That's what you do as a co-fiduciary, or as a consultative service provider. So, I think it's exciting. It's an exciting time for our industry, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Well, we appreciate your partnership, and I appreciate the opportunity to ask you some questions today, Jeff.
Brent, thank you. And I'm going to have to wipe the sweat off my brow, but it's been fun. Thank you so much.